Good day. My name is Jerry Ashley Dixon, and this is the Politics and Group Consciousness analysis of the January 20th, 2017 first presidential inaugural address of Donald J. Trump held in Washington, D.C. I'd like to identify the theme of President Trump's speech as it relates to the category of identity that he was trying to express. In his message, he was striving to speak to the nation as one unit and to expound on the idea of unity among all citizens. According to the updated 2024 key terms for symbolic convergence theory on page 1, it is stated that the process through which group members develop a shared consciousness and identity through sharing stories. But more specifically, I want to address the fantasy aspect of symbolic convergence theory. A fantasy doesn't mean an unrealistic idea, but rather a dramatized story or scenario that group members share, especially those that tend to be symbolic of their deepest values, fears, and hopes. Starting at 23 seconds to 35 seconds of President Trump's speech, he initiates the feeling of group unity immediately by stating, "We, the citizens of America, are now joined in a great national effort to rebuild our country and restore its promise for all of our people." It is important to note the symbolic cues that take place. According to the updated 2024 key terms for symbolic convergence theory on page 1, symbolic cues are words, phrases, or symbols that trigger the shared fantasies or themes within a group. Symbolic cues can quickly evoke the shared emotions or meanings associated with the group's rhetorical vision. President Trump uses the words we, our, and all, which signify the unification of the United States of America. This is to make us all feel like we are together in this instead of us against them. This kind of word use drives the speech to a group consciousness according to the above-mentioned text. This leads to a collective awareness and identity that results as sharing fantasy themes and participating in symbolic convergence. It's a sense of unity or belonging that emerges from shared symbolic realities. President Trump goes on to insinuate, for too long the nation has not operated under we the people, but rather a small group of Washington insiders that are running the country. At minute 2:56 through 3:30, President Trump states, "That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you. It belongs to everyone gathered here today and everyone watching all across America. This is your day. This is your celebration. And this, the United States of America, is your country." As the fantasy themes link together in fantasy chains, it gets picked up and repeated, becoming more ingrained in the group's consciousness according to our text. That's exactly what President Trump is doing by making everyone feel collectively like this is our special day, our special victory, and that we as individuals have been given the power to run the country, while at the same time allowing us to feel like we are all part of the same group. He uses the words you and your to invoke personal ownership in the victory. This is your day. This is your celebration. This is your country. At minute 4:52 through 6:16, President Trump is intentional to include the muted groups of our nation and those that are often overlooked and neglected in society. He states, "These are just and reasonable demands of righteous people and a righteous public. But for too many of our citizens, a different reality exists. Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation, an education system flush with cash, but which leaves our young and beautiful students deprived of all knowledge, and the crime and the gangs and the drugs that have stolen too many lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. We are one nation, and their pain is our pain. Their dreams are our dreams, and their success will be our success. We share one heart, one home, and one glorious destiny." In this part of his speech, President Trump changes his words slightly to refer to these groups using terms like their instead of we, but he brings them into the group by stating their dreams are our dreams, and their pain is our pain. He makes the other group's problems essentially our problems too, once again unifying us in the cause we are fighting for. President Trump's inaugural speech is a perfect artifact to analyze for the purpose of studying fantasy theme and symbolic convergence theory, as it is rich with dramatic language and rhetoric to establish group unity. Thanks for watching.